Thanks, Robert. I will now present my address and then I'll hand over to Marnie. Last year I said that we were in unprecedented times, having to run a virtual AGM, and that I would see you next year in Bendigo. We had reserved the Alhambra Theatre but had to cancel it again, as unfortunately we found ourselves in similar uncertain circumstances. And as we gather together virtually, once again, for this our second consecutive but hopefully last fully virtual annual general meeting. Sadly, the intervening period has been anything but unprecedented, as the challenges and disruptions caused by the COVID pandemic deepened for many Australians and the Australian economy again this year. Everyone has been affected, some much more than others, and while for a multitude of reasons, many did it tougher in 21 than they did in 2020, there is, I believe, a renewed sense of optimism in the air as we quickly approach the end of this year. As one of Australia's oldest financial institutions, we have big responsibilities, the most important of which is to do the right thing. It's something we've been focused on for the past 163 years and something we remain steadfastly committed to each and every day. We mostly get it right, and where we don't, we work hard to correct any wrongs. Our bank's commitment to supporting our customers has never been more important or more impactful than in this last year. The number of customers on deferral arrangements from the latest COVID-induced lockdowns remains relatively modest. However, we're conscious that behind every number is a person, a family or a small business, so we treat each situation individually and with care and respect. This enduring commitment of support has seen us continue to rank highly in key trust and reputation indices. Roy Morgan ranks our bank as one of Australia's top 20 most trusted brands across all industries. Furthermore, our business banking division was considered the highest rated bank for supporting customers through COVID. This is important, not just to make us or you as our shareholders feel good, but to ensure our short, medium and long-term financial results remain strong. Since our founding years, we've operated with a belief that the long-term sustainability of our business is much more than just the health of our balance sheet and our financial performance. That's why this year we were proud to introduce our annual sustainability report, which documents our ESG progress and provides transparency, measurement and accountability to our various stakeholders. We support the required transition to net zero emissions by 2050 with aligned interim targets. We are committed to playing our part in this transition. As outlined in our sustainability report, we've been on this journey for some time and believe we've made further significant progress in financial year 2021 by releasing our first sustainability report, achieving carbon neutral status and aligning our climate-related financial disclosures with the TCFD framework. Going forward, our next steps are to bring all our work together across multiple streams under a sustainability framework. This framework will be guided by materiality, weighing stakeholder views and business impact as we seek to build and continue on with our authentic approach to contribute to a more sustainable future for all our stakeholders. Notwithstanding what has been another disruptive 12 months for Australia, supported by our strategy to reduce complexity, invest in capability and tell our story, our bank has delivered strong financial, capital and customer growth outcomes. This is well reflected in the growth in our customer numbers and market share in both lending and deposits, through to our improved productivity and speed to market, our digital acquisitions and investments and our robust balance sheet. It's clear we've taken large strides on our journey to bolster the bank's prospects for the future, as well as those of all our stakeholders. Your Managing Director will elaborate more on this in her speech. As mentioned earlier, investing in capability is a key plank of our business strategy. We know when our people are supported and performing at their best, our shareholders, customers and community benefit. Our approach to diversity and inclusion is underpinned by our inclusive work policies and processes, which aim to improve workplace participation. One of the areas we're focused on is growing women at all levels of leadership. It never fails to amaze me that only 10 of Australia's 200 most successful ASX companies are led by women. As of June this year, Bendigo and Adelaide Bank was the only ASX 200 company with both a female chair and a female CEO. In financial year 21, 43% of leadership roles were filled by women, while 63% of all promoted staff were women. This is, of course, about improving gender equality, but it is even more about strengthening and broadening the talent pool at the bank so we can continue to achieve results for shareholders. I will now briefly address some changes to your board. Firstly, I'd like to pay tribute to outgoing non-executive directors Rob Hubbard and Tony Robinson, who will both retire from the board at the conclusion of today's meeting. Tony joined the board in 2006, while Robert joined in 2013, and I want to thank them both for their significant contributions to our board and your bank. Their tireless efforts and strategic input has seen our company to where it is today. I also warmly welcome Richard Deutsch. Richard is up for election by shareholders today, and his background will be covered later in the agenda. Before I conclude my address and commence the formal proceedings of this year's AGM, I personally, and on behalf of the board, want to express our gratitude to you, our shareholders, for your continued support and loyalty throughout this demanding year. Rest assured, it's not something we take lightly or take for granted. After a strong financial year 2021 performance, with cash earnings after tax increasing by over 51% and CET1 capital increasing to 9.57%, I am pleased the board was in a position to reward your support by declaring a total fully franked dividend of 50 cents per share. This once again accentuates our long-standing commitment to delivering to you, our shareholders, high yield and long-term returns. In conclusion, I'd like to thank all our people, as well as our community bank and other partners across the country, who have worked tirelessly throughout this year, often in extremely difficult circumstances, from their homes, our offices and our branches to directly support our more than 2 million customers. Thank you, and I really look forward to having the opportunity to meet with you, our shareholders, in person in Bendigo at next year's 2022 AGM. Thank you.